Attention on deck. You're about to take command. Welcome to the bunker.
24 hours late, but we are here. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of The Bunker. I'm your host, Andy Burrows, and I am joined by my two illustrious co-hosts and a couple of really good guys. First, this side of the pond, as always, we have my guy, Scouse, Mr. Andy Lockhart. Scouse, how are you, fella?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Tired, a long day today, but yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay, mate. I'm a bit like you. It's been a bloody long day, but yeah, I'm all right. Sorry, this show is 24 hours late for everyone wanting to tune in yesterday and tweeting me angrily this morning. Where's the bunker? Well, we're here now, and no one is more committed to the cause today than my fellow co-host and good friend, as you can, those of you watching on YouTube, and this is the usual view we sometimes get on a Sunday, Mr. Jesse Martin. Jesse, how are things across the pond, my friend?
Yeah, it's been really busy, and I'm going to apologize for yesterday. I just couldn't get out of work, and I mean, I was late for my other podcast, my own podcast. So I just couldn't get out. So sorry, but better late than never. We're here today, ready to rock and roll.
Yes, we are indeed. We are here to talk about the Washington Commanders 23, them pesky Baltimore Ravens 30. Scouse, let's start with you, bro. I know Jesse's driving, so let's start with you, Scouse. If I'd said to you 18 months ago, the Commanders are going to go in against the Ravens and lose by a touchdown, effectively, and it'd be a fairly competitive game, you would have probably looked at me like I'm crazy. 12 to 18 months on to where this team are now, how do you feel about what you watched on Sunday? Is it tinged with disappointment? Is it tinged with we might have left some stuff on the field? If it's tinged with this defense really cost us this game, how are you feeling now as we sit here on a Tuesday evening here in the UK?
I think a little bit mixed, really. When you think about these things, it's kind of like, yeah, 18 months ago, would you say we would be within 7 points away at Baltimore in a natural competitive game? No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't think that. Um, But obviously, how fast we've actually improved and how good Jaden has been this season's kind of increased expectations. Then you feel like, as you mentioned there, there is a little bit that's kind of been left on the field. There was a few plays that could have went our way, a few dodgy calls from the refs, and no, there's a few different things that if it went our way, it might have changed the game because it was only, as you say, it's only one touchdown game in it eventually. So there's a little bit of disappointment. But deep down, I knew that we were going to lose this game. So I'm not really upset. It's not like it's the world's ending or anything like that. I think we put ourselves a decent foot forward. We kind of proved that we could do it offensively to a certain extent against a really good defense, and we had virtually no running game.
B
And
Rob
Jake
was a B Rob was a huge loss, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's massive. And again, the Ravens D is the number one against the run, and it showed. It showed. They shut us down. Whoever we had playing there, and even if B Rob was playing, we don't know how well he would have played against him. The guy's banged up. He's struggling with his knee, so we wouldn't have known how well he would have done. I mean, a fully fit, 100% B Rob, yeah, might have made a big difference. But it's shoulda, woulda, coulda, and
Hmm.
but again, I think we give ourselves a decent account. I mean, obviously, I thought defense let us down quite a lot, but it is very difficult. When you're looking at kind of scheme wise, how do you stop Henry? You put eight in the box. Okay, then you let Lamar beat you with his arm, which he did because we kept on playing zone on the back end, and we kept getting killed. And it's difficult. It's difficult to kind of if you play man, then you've got the Zay Flowers pace, speed he's got, or you've got Lamar's legs.
That
So
dude's like a steam train, isn't he?
so it's difficult. It is difficult. You know what I mean? To scheme for all these guys. So yeah, I mean, I'm not upset. I mean, I'm proud that we actually gave ourselves a reasonable account of
Mm.
us.
Jesse, is this a game where you and I we chatted after the game? Emotions were running very high amongst us all on a Sunday. On reflection, now, how do you see it, Jesse? Is this a case of the defense letting us down? we kind of knew what we were good at going into this game. We knew how well Jaden's playing. We knew how well our offense playing. Did this game just highlight more the defensive side of the ball where we need to improve? Was this a game where this is what you can be in 2 seasons, maybe a season when you look at the Ravens? How are you reflecting now, Jesse, as we sit here like 48 hours or whatever it is removed from the game?
Well, it's a tale of two sides, Andy. I'm highly disappointed still in the defense. I felt reminiscent of last year when Sam Howell, hats off to him for doing his best, but he would have a decent game and the defense would let him down. And that's what I felt like this game. I knew it would be tough coming in. I really did. I had hopes for this defense, and before the season began, that it would make strides, but it seemed like it's getting worse, and there was no answers whatsoever. And to be honest with you, I felt the effort wasn't there. I know me and you had gone back and forth about this last year about effort, and it seemed to me that the effort wasn't there. They were afraid to tackle their running back, and it just seemed like they had no answer for Zay Flowers. And I know there was a pick your poison, but I felt like the defense left a lot on the field. And all we needed was a play because the offense did their job, man. Jaden, we can't expect week in and week out for a rookie quarterback to put this team on his back and expect to win football games week in and week out. It's not fair to Jaden whatsoever. The offense is doing this part. The quarterback's doing this part. The defense needs to somebody needs to step up and make a play. Yeah, Sanders still made a play on the first drive of the game, but if he didn't make that play, they were going out and scoring 7, and it could have been worse.
Do you think a scheme, though? Sorry to ask you a question there. I mean, do you think it's a scheme thing, or do you think it's actually just pure talent? It's like talentless on the defense.
I question the fact why Forbes wasn't in there because Joe Witt should have known that we didn't have a cornerback with speed to be able to keep up with Zay Flowers. Forbes, the one thing he is good at, he's fast. I got to question that, man. I really do have to question that. Why he wasn't? Why he didn't dress for that game?
When you compare Flowers, a lot of NFL teams are going to struggle against him, boys. I mean, and with our defense being what it is, and it's even worse now, which we're going to get onto in a minute. We've lost a few players through injury. And I know you guys mentioned this on the Bleeding Burgundy when you guys were recording last week, talking about if we get injuries, then where do we go from here? And I know Scouse, you and Hartley got into it on the 1 Point Safety show. Scouse, where for you did we lose this defensively side of the ball? Was it the line? A lot of people are, like you say, we're looking at corner, we're looking at we got smoked over the top a lot. But then when you look at that and then you're like, okay, well, we're getting smoked there, but then we couldn't stop the run either. I think, and when the dust is settled, and when I watched the highlights back, I haven't watched the whole game, and I know me and Jesse got into it on Sunday. He was adamant that he was done with his team, done with his defense. When you look at it retrospectively, does your opinion change? Because realistically, were we ever going to really compete in this game? Did the previous games give us false hope's probably the wrong word, because we hadn't really played that elite team. Everyone says, oh, well, the Bengals were goddamn awful the day we played them.
I mean, their offense still put 38 on us, or whatever it was.
Exactly. Exactly. So where for you, we got the John Allen injury, which we're going to get into now. The Peck, he could be out for, we might not see him in the Commanders. Yeah, we might not see him in the Commanders uniform ever again. Was there any specific position where you thought, wow, we really did get smoked there? Because like Jesse said, the defense, we couldn't stop the run. Our safeties in corner were non-existent. It just seemed that we're having gaping holes everywhere. But again, is that what happens?
Stop the run and you can't stop the pass.
But is that what happens when you come up against these elite teams, Scouts? When you come up against these elite teams, and our defense has been it's been a bit hit and miss this season. We've gone back and forth on it on this show. We haven't really played anyone. Was this kind of right? This is like the benchmark now for the Commanders. This is, hey, we want to be playing in these kind of games week in, week out. And the better you're going to get, if you want to win divisions and if you want to get to playoffs, then the next season you're going to have a tougher schedule. You're going to come up against more elite players. Don't get me wrong, we're going to recruit. I'm for sure of that. But in your opinion, the defensive side of the ball, where was it lost?
I think personally, it's two things. I think one of them is scheme. I did not like this bullshit of 8 in the box and then play zone at the back end. I hate shit like that because it doesn't work. Now, the second part is the talent level at corner isn't good. I mean, Sancho's one of my boys. I still think me and Jesse will always disagree on this one, but for me, his best position is nickel. All right, so really, he should be in the middle. All right, now he's playing the outside. He's doing his best, but it's not his real position. He's like, that's his second position. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
you
not
play
that
in
we
there.
disagree.
Square
It's
peg,
not
round
that we
holes.
disagree. He should definitely be playing the middle, but
Yeah.
they don't have a choice. They
And
got to
that's-
play him on
and that's
the
what I mean.
outside.
Lack of
They don't
talent.
got nobody better.
And lack of talent is one thing, and then also as well, you mentioned Forbes. Why wasn't Forbes available? I'd say with at least with his speed, he can maybe keep up with Zay Flowers. It's just there's obviously something going on there with Forbes. The reason why he wasn't dressed. But it's difficult to pinpoint exactly one thing because there's a multiple of things. There's at least two or three things there that's causing the problem. Because let's face it, if we were a better team talent wise, especially in the back end, we would play a lot more man. You know what I mean? And that's how you'd play it in the box. You play man on the end. Do you know what I mean? At the back end. So, and we couldn't do that because we didn't have the players to do it. So we played this shitty in between a type shite. I mean, and as you mentioned, with gaping holes everywhere. No, they did the same play about 15 times. The fucking was a Flowers in the middle of a fucking slant in the middle. Every time we doing that, it's wide open. We didn't make any adjustments as well. Another one again. It's on Joe Witt. You know what I mean? It's on Joe Witt.
Mm. When you look offensively side of the ball now, I mean, Jaden again proved to us that we're going to keep using the term rookie. This kid ain't playing like a rookie. I've seen so many interviews so far this week. I saw one with Tom Brady today that I was reading. He said, "Don't call this kid a rookie. This kid played," and you even heard it on the commentary, didn't you? Some of the Tony Romo was calling it. Some of there was a couple where he threw it into the dirt because he had to, and he was like, "This kid isn't a rookie. Stop calling him a rookie. He's already." That status is gone. Yes, he might be rookie on the fact that this is his first season in the NFL, but he's not playing like a rookie. Jesse, was this another game where offensively side of the ball, you look at Terry, I thought it was one of his better games that in recent weeks. I thought he really stood up and was tremendous for us. You look at someone like Zach Ertz, he saw ahead of a lot of I think he had 4 receptions, 68 yards. Obviously Terry with the 2 TDs. Dimey Brown come up big when we needed him. He had I think he had 1 reception that was really good. Austin Eckler was really good. Was this just a game where offensively we didn't really learn much new? We learned that this team is really good offensively. And it was a case of, look, this defense just couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop the pass. But offensively, we now have proved to everyone in this league that we can compete with anyone, right?
Absolutely. This offense can play with anybody in the league. I mean, look, the Cincinnati Bengals just put up almost 40 on the same team that we just played the week prior. Yeah, we didn't score that many points, but we weren't that far behind. It wasn't this team will play well enough on offense to win games. The unfortunate part of it, there's 2 more different teams that are playing special teams and defense. And if you can't play complementary football, then you're going to have a hard time winning these type of games against these types of teams. And it's not necessarily fair to Jaden that someone can't step up and make a play. All we needed is a couple plays made yesterday. Somebody on Zay Flowers. I mean, he had 132 yards in the first half, man. That's just almost unheard of. So something's got to give.
It's the same play. It's the same play all the time as well. It was like he's not made no adjustments with the play call or the scheme throughout the half.
Going back to the offense, we can't expect Jaden to do any more. He's doing everything that he can. He's putting the team on his back, giving the chance to win games. And again, The kid can't, and he is a kid. Okay, he can't do it alone.
I don't think there's no reason. Don't get me wrong. It was like we got into on the post game, Jesse. I don't think there's any reason to panic. Maybe because now with the injuries we've got, Jesse, you look at John Allen now, the Peck, he's going to be out for a while. The D line is going to be pretty banged up. I'm quite thankful that it is the Panthers coming into town this weekend. But don't get me wrong, that's going to be no given game because
No,
maybe
it's not.
that's a pessimist in me, and the Washington will never leave me. That this will be everyone. I remember, look at the last few seasons and games we're expected to win, and we've gone out and absolutely laid an egg. So this weekend isn't a given. Jesse, what did you now? John Allen Peck out for probably for the rest of the season. Like Scouse will know probably more on this is his field of
If
work.
it's a torn pec, he needs surgery, so he'll be out for
Yeah.
6 months.
He's out for
Yeah.
6 months, so we're not going to see him for the. Let's be realistic. We're not going to see him for the rest of the season. Jesse, my question is: are we going to see him again in a Commander's uniform?
That's a good question, Andy. I mean, he does not have any guarantees on his contract left, so I would not be surprised if this is the last time that we see John Allen in a Commander's uniform. He has 2 years left on his deal. Absolutely zero guarantees. He's getting older, and a lot of people were up in arms when we drafted Johnny Newton in the second round, but it looks like a brilliant move by Adam Peters. Another brilliant move by Adam Peters. So, we're going to have to make up for his loss. And yeah, it didn't show in the stat sheet, but it's still a big loss for this defensive unit. Payne's going to have to step up. The rookie Johnny Newton's going to have to step up. I'm assuming they're going to bring up Sheldon Day, who has a lot of experience. Used to be a starter for the Cleveland Browns. He's going to have to come up from the practice squad. And look, F.A. Obata, I think he's better on the outside as a defensive end, but he just played his first snaps last week after that terrible leg injury last year. So he's going to have to step up, and it would not surprise me at all if some moves are coming, within the next few days. Baptiste, I think he's been playing well. He's got a high ankle sprain. Who knows how long he's going to be out, and we don't know the extent of the damage to Dorrance Armstrong's rib. So hopefully, we really can't afford to lose him at all.
Scouse, are you the same as me and Jesse? I'm with Jesse. I don't think we see Allen again in a Commander's uniform. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, yeah, he's been here for a long time, we've known about his character issues as well at times. A fake rah guy. People know him. He doesn't really lead, if that makes sense. And we expect him to be a leader, and he isn't one. So we're not gonna miss a lot from that side of things. When he does leave. And he's not worth a big new extension. He hasn't played well enough in my book to warrant that. So he's gone. Probably get virtually nothing for him.
Zilch now, especially now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, especially that's a torn pec. Even when he's back fit, maybe to start next season, he won't be. You'll get virtually naff all for him because you'll need to do a new deal. Whoever's going to sign him. So
yeah.
Yeah. So don't get too bogged down of what we're going to get draft pick wise for him. It's going to be very little. And then you mentioned high ankle sprains for Baptiste.
Yeah, high ankle sprain. How long's that?
I mean, normally it's 6 weeks. Normally, but again, people can try and play through them, but they're not. But most guys really struggle to produce. You know what I mean? When they're playing earlier than they should, if that makes sense. And McCaffrey did it a few years back. He was trying to push through, and he just wasn't effective. You know what I mean?
Do you think we'll have to score even more points on offense now with our defense being this banged up? Is it going to be not Jaden playing hero ball? Because if you look at, we put 23 up on Sunday, but we've been putting up 30, 40, we've been really scoring. Does this add more pressure to what's the offense saying, look, we might have, this isn't a given on Sunday, but I'm putting that down hopefully as a win. And then the Bears the week after, that's going to be a hell of a game where we all know why that's being hyped up. But do you think this adds more pressure now on? I don't think Jaden really suffers with pressure. But with the way that we saw it on Sunday, and it looks like we could have to be involved in a shootout to win a game of football. Do you think that's where we're going now with this defense being so banged up? Or like Jesse, we're going to see some people come into the building in the next week or so?
I mean, I think you can't rely on this defense to win you any games. You can't rely on it at all. So you have to, unfortunately, you have to rely on the rookie to make it happen. And he has been doing it. So that's the reason why we're before and two. But yeah, there's a lot of pressure on Jaden, even if he doesn't technically feel it. There's a lot of expectation on the guy, and and he's got the skill to do it, and he's got the experience. You mentioned it. No, don't say he's a rookie, and we almost said that because he's not really. He's played 55 games in college before, and yeah, okay, NFL's faster, sure, but it's still football. You still know decisions, right decisions.
His football brain as well is incredible.
Yeah, and that's it. And the reason why he's so calm, and that's the reason why he's so is the main is the way it is. Because he's tuned that over 4 or 5 years in the college game. So he isn't really a rookie. Like when you see some of these guys come out, they've done like 1 year in college, and they come into the NFL. They're rookies, and you can tell they're rookies because they're god awful. Because they're not used. Because
just go up the East Coast to New York, and you'll get that found out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So these things happen, and it's like, even though Jaden's a little older, he's 23, 24, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you can have him for 10, 15 years, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So no worries there from that angle. But man, yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree overall, really.
Let's get into some fan questions, boys. I know that Scouts, I know you've had a long day. Jesse, you're driving, so I don't want to long this out too much today. Let's get into some fan questions. Simon Thurston would like to know, Jesse, you can have this one, brother. With Cleveland trading Cooper and potentially in the market for more trades, who would you want that we could realistically get?
Denzel Ward. I think
yes, please.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Desperately need a cornerback, and if Cleveland is selling, which obviously they are, then we need to be buying.
Yeah, no,
he'd be my top target.
Scouts, anyone for you?
Yeah, to be fair,
we're all going to say the same. Yeah.
Because I was looking at, like, say, you mentioned it because Cleveland are selling. I was thinking, okay, well, if they got, well, we know they've got good secondary players. You could even go Greg Newsome if you really wanted. I mean, he's really good in coverage, not great against the run, but really good in coverage. And again, we need a coverage guy. So especially if we play the zone bollocks that we keep playing at the moment.
You hate that, don't you?
Yeah, I hate zone defense. But yeah, man. So it's so for me, yeah, I mean, so one of those two guys would be, because corner's definitely the number one priority. And then you're looking, if you can try and get yourself an edge, some sort of edge rusher, happy days, but that might be too difficult to get both. But
yeah, especially now.
What about actually one guy I'm thinking about? Sorry, mate.
Look, the thing, you have to play zone defense, so you can't get away with it, especially if you don't have any pass rushers. I mean,
I'm saying we need better players to be able to play man schemes. You know what I mean? So
you're either playing man or zone, and we suck at both of them. It's just period.
Oh, welcome to the bunker, everyone. Rich, go on, Scouts. Who was the name?
What about Xavier Howard? He's
Xavier's got some off the field issues that
with the contract, doesn't he? Well, it is. He's held out like Reddick.
No one's going to touch him right now. He's got charges pending.
I was going to say, isn't he about to go to prison?
Yeah. Something like that.
Yeah, I do want to point that out.
Him and Jamin Davis can hang out.
Okay, no, man. They've got a great roster in prison. The prison football team. Yeah, the prison team is amazing. It's like, how long left, Ref? Well, about 10 years. Richard Cameron would like to know, Scouse, if John Allen has played his last snap in Washington, how would you rate his career and his legacy with the team? Be interested to see your thoughts, he says. This is a difficult one because when he's on it, he's on it. When he's not, he really isn't. I mean, I think, has he lived up to his potential? In my opinion, this is my opinion, I'm going to say no. People might come at me for that, but I know a lot of people, he's been good for the team. He's been a good spokesperson. I don't care about a good spokesperson. We can do that. We've got microphones here. I want you to be a good football player. Has he lived up to the potential as a Redskin / football team / commander? No. What do you reckon, Scouts?
I agree. I think he's been a bit of a letdown, to be fair. I mean, he was drafted highly. He was at the best school in college coming out, Alabama, He should have been a lot more disruptive and destructive than what he has been. And it's. I mean, sometimes you see him with lack of effort as well, and it's like, wait there a minute, like this is you're meant to be like a pro's pro. Do you know what I mean? Like you're meant to be like a Terry, a pro's pro, and he's not. So for me, it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, I'd probably rate him. Being honest, probably about a C plus overall. I don't. I mean, from a first round, it's kind of disappointing, really.
Jesse, it's very easy for three dudes to sit here with a microphone and talk about, lack of effort. And we've all interviewed football players, and we've been very fortunate to meet some and speak to them. And I know they've been mega pissed off when they say, "Oh, you're just dudes with a mic." Is it a lack of effort, Jesse? Do you think on his tenure at Washington? No, but for me, I find that so difficult to comment on because I don't think any football player enters the field and gives lack of effort. Maybe it's the game situation. Maybe it's certain things are going on off the field, especially in Washington. Has he lived up to his potential? No. Has there been a lack of effort? I am not too sure. What do you think?
It's really hard to say, Andy. You got to think of it in his shoes. He's dealt with a whole lot of the
Hell of a lot.
ups and downs of the Washington football team. Um, yeah, I mean, maybe he just got it. There was times he was just tired of it all. And I mean, you heard him on the Junkies a couple years ago that he thought about playing for another team. So it's got to when you are a player, a high caliber player, and nothing has gone right year after year after year. I think it would be pretty easy to take some plays off and maybe not give it your all. So I do feel bad for John Allen a little bit because he's been here for was 7 years and now that the team is finally going into the a good direction, he gets injured and he's not going to be able to see it through. So kind of hats off to him on that.
Yeah, he's made a bucket load of money. So I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where his NFL career takes him after the Commanders.
Yeah, Boz, you played decent level football. I mean, would you like on the field when you're playing? Would you be like, you know what, fucking hate that owner? Would you be one of those guys, or would you go, you know what? No, I'm going to play the game as best I can.
Yeah, I mean, I love playing.
Minute,
I love playing soccer. Sorry, all my English fucking mates are going to kill me for calling it soccer, but a lot of American listeners. See, I was more just about playing the game. I mean, obviously, we're not talking to the elite level now that that's of the NFL, but I just loved playing football, soccer every Saturday afternoon, every Tuesday night. I just enjoyed putting my boots on and playing, and I gave 110% when I took the field. Then again, if I'm earning God knows how many millions and I've got my ownership having what Washington had, and I've had more coaches than you can shake a stick at, and I've had God knows what off-field drama. And do you get to the stage where you think, do you know what, you're paying me millions of dollars? I don't give a shit what you say. All right, I take a playoff. Oh well, I'm still getting how much million in my bank? A week, a month, a year.
Professional.
Yeah, I think it's more professional. Yeah, it's more professionalism. That's easy for me to say. Is that being questioned? And again, I go back to I don't really want to be the guy sitting here questioning a footballer's professionalism because I don't think anyone takes the field and intentionally wants to. I can't be bothered, or I'm not feeling it today. Don't get wrong. We all have off days, and no matter that's in life. That could be what you do for a living, Scouts. What I do, what Jesse does, what anyone listening to this does. We all have bad days at work. Because you're an NFL footballer, it's getting highlighted more. People like idiots like us are sitting here breaking it down on a Monday or a Tuesday afternoon, and you're on Sports Center, you're on ESPN, and the scope that these guys have got for criticism. You're only human at the end of the day, so there's only so much of it you can probably take. I mean, again though, but I don't think John Allen. I think one day he might even admit himself that he hasn't lived up to his full potential in Washington. But hey, we'll see. Last few questions, boys. Scouse, this one is absolutely perfect for you. Paul Turner, he says, St. Juice, what the hell planet is he on?
Think Ghost. Keep telling you. He's fucking.
Is this comes back to this, Scouse? This comes back to what we were just talking about. Is that lack of effort, lack of talent? lack of scheme,
I think
lack of
I think
that
it's a
could
lack
that
of.
could come back to the whole discussion that we just had.
This guy obviously didn't have the same. I don't think the same ceiling or the same potential as a John Allen. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy's a third round corner coming out of. I think he played in Canada. I think he's from Canada, isn't he?
Canada,
He
isn't
played
he in the
like
Canadian
Minnesota,
Football League or something? Yeah.
and he hit himself. And he was going to be that close to actually quitting football while he was in college because he had a bad injury. So this guy's like okay, under the radar a little bit, but he's got the size, he's got the measurables, and he's reasonably. He's not like lightning, but he's got some speed. You're thinking, okay, he's got like a good traits there that he can work with. But to be fair, every time he lets you down, he lets you down every time.
Look, the crux of
Again,
the issue with St. Juice is one, he's a third cornerback, but he's being asked to play.
come on.
Jesse, you muted yourself.
Yes, exactly. Yes, so he's leaving himself. I want to go up against JJ and all the rest of it one on one. Like you're not good enough to do that, bro. You're just not good enough. You know, he gets toasted every game. Every game he gets toasted besides the Cleveland game. That's the only one that you look really
Sorry,
good.
Jesse, carry on, bro. You're unmuted now.
Yeah, he's a cornerback 3 being asked to play a cornerback 1. That's it right there. You know, he is a backup cornerback at best, and maybe it's not fair to him, but he just doesn't have the talent to be a cornerback 1. Period. That's it. That's it, man. That's St. Juice in a nutshell. We just don't have the talent. You know, we don't have nobody better.
Final question comes from our buddy Mike. Jesse, this question is for you. This is brilliant. What happened in Jesse's youth to make him so angry about things now? That's from Mike. That's from Mike, by the way.
I was dropped multiple times as a kid. So
there you
put
go.
that in your pipe and smoke it, Mike.
When we get our 12
No,
wins,
listen, I've been a fan for 45 fucking years.
are we still handing in fan cards today, Jesse? How are we feeling? How are we feeling?
I will I will fan any goddamn way I want to fan. If I want to be pissed off at this team, guess what? I have spent 45 years freaking rooting for this bleeding for this team. So y'all can all kiss my damn ass.
There you go, everyone. I hope that answered that question. Jesse is keeping his fan card, and you, if you don't like it, you can kiss his ass, as he quite rightly put. Boys,
to Cleveland.
I know. Yeah, we're sending Jesse to Cleveland. He's doing a podcast with them next week. Let's just finish up with this weekend's game, boys. The Panthers are coming into town. Scouser said at the start of the show, it's not a given, but you'd like to think that this time next week we'll be sitting here 5-2.
I'd like to think so.
Oh, we're getting our ass kicked.
Oh God, this dude! Honestly, don't make me shout at you again on a Sunday.
Mute this guy.
I know. Don't make me shout at you.
We can't overlook this team for one. We know what their record is. But listen, Chuba Hubbard is a great running back. Jonathan Brooks might be coming back. He was a highly touted running back coming out of college. He's a rookie, and Andy Dalton has been. You know, I mean, they were within one score in the fourth quarter against the high-powered Atlanta Falcons offense. So this team can't to afford to overlook a team like the Carolina Panthers and get embarrassed. So I think this team is pissed off, which they should be, for that game last week. And I expect a rout. I expect us to score over 30 points, but I do expect to give up some points as well.
Scouts, I expect us to win.
Yeah.
Would it be surprised if we did lose? It would be the most Washington thing ever. I always say it, but
100%. Yeah,
us to win.
You got to expect the win in this one. You know, Jesse mentioned all the points I was going to make about kind of the Red Rifle playing quite well, and he'll hold his own to a certain extent in the game, especially with our defense the way it is. So I can definitely see them getting points on the board for sure. So yeah, I mean, I still think we should win this game by 7 to 10 points. Being honest,
we're favored by 8.5.
Oh yeah, so at least I reckon the 2 scores. 10 to. Let's make it a bit more 10 10 to 14 points.
Oh yeah, I'm with you. And the week after against the Bears just been flexed just for us scouts over here in the UK. It's going to be
Cheers for that.
yeah. Cheers for
That's a
that.
game I'm not looking forward to.
That could be now
Interesting one.
that's going to
Sweat
be a
coming
game.
back.
Yeah.
Sweat coming back.
Look, that is a very, very good defense. I mean, extremely good defense. And Caleb is playing very well. You know, I think.
If I'd said to you though at the end of week
They
8,
come off the
Jesse,
bye as well.
if I'd said to you at the end of week 8, right, I hope we do beat the Bears, and potentially we could. I think we're good enough. There's definitely offensively. But if I said to you after 8 weeks of football, we're going to be sitting there 5-3, you would have bit my hand off, right?
I have to go back and look because I had us at 5-3 when we did our
Predictions.
on the Bleeding Burgundy, predictions. I can't remember if I picked the Bears to win or not. But yeah, I had us, and then I had us slipping later on in the year. But yeah, I had us at 4-1 before coming into the Ravens game. So I do believe I had us 5-3 by that time. So there's still a lot of football. There's still 12 games left, guys. There's still a lot of football to go. You never know what's going to happen. And I just want everybody to tweet John Taman at Bang Radio for jinxing this team by talking about the injuries. Okay. Me and Max got on him last week and the week before. We told him to stop doing it, and he kept talking about how healthy we were, and he freaking jinxed us. So at Bang Radio, give John Taman a big middle finger.
Just tweet him anyway, just because he's an arsehole. I'm joking, John. I absolutely love that man. Boys, it's been an absolute pleasure to sit down and talk some Commanders football. Again, sorry to everyone that we're 24 hours late. Jesse, appreciate you for jumping on, bro, while you're driving. It looks, I didn't need to give me a weather update there. It looks really nice for those watching on YouTube.
Yeah, it's been beautiful. You know, it was cold this morning, but 65 degrees and sunny.
Okay, we'll keep it like that till January when we come back, okay, for the playoffs. It might
minus
be
65.
Yeah, it might be
minus
65 by the time we get back. But Jesse, thanks very much, bro. I will catch you. I'll catch you next week, and no doubt speak to you a million times throughout the week. The Bleeding Burgundy podcast is back later in the week with Max, John, and Hartley. Scouts can be found on the 1 Point Safety Show later on in the week on Thursday. You can find us on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Commander Bunker. Just type in the Bunker podcast on YouTube. You can also find this show on Spotify, Apple Pod, or wherever you get your audio fix. I actually sounded like I knew what I was doing then. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Bunker. I've been your host, Andy Burrows. Till next time, everybody, bunker down. Stay safe.